Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're taking a look at a story that's, well, it's incredibly short, surprisingly simple,
Yeah,
and yet it's had this really profound impact on how countless people think about one of life's biggest constants, change.
that's right.
Our source for this deep dive is excerpts from Dr. Spencer Johnson's widely read book, Who Moved My Cheese?
It's essentially a modern parable, a simple tale, really, designed to give us a new lens on how we react when things shift around us.
Yeah, whether that's at work or in relationships or just life in general.
Exactly.
So our mission here is to unpack this little story, explore its memorable characters and simple metaphors, and really dig into the core lessons it offers about anticipating change, adapting to it.
And maybe, just maybe, even finding some joy in it.
Right. And we'll also look at how people have actually used these ideas in their own lives.
So let's step into the maze, shall we? The story is set in this place called the maze, and it features 4 characters. 2 are mice, Sniff, and Scurry. And the other 2 are called little people, Hem and Haw, who are, well, they're a lot like us, really.
Right. And the first thing the book makes clear is that pretty much everything is a metaphor here.
Yeah.
The maze. That's where you spend your time, where you look for what you want. Think of it like your workplace, your community, your family structure.
Sort of the environment you operate in.
Exactly. It's got corridors, sure, blind alleys, dark corners.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. But it also holds potential for a better life if you explore it.
And then there's the cheese. The cheese is basically what you desire. It could be anything, really a great job, financial security,
A loving relationship, good health.
peace of mind, yeah, or maybe just recognition for your work. It's whatever you believe will make you happy.
Okay.
And a key point the story makes right away is that when you find your cheese, whatever it is, you get attached to it. And losing it can be, well, really painful, traumatic even.
Makes sense. Now, how do our 4 friends navigate this maze looking for their cheese? Let's start with the mice, Sniff and Scurry.
Okay, the mice, they're simple. They rely pretty much purely on instinct and trial and error.
So just gut feeling.
Yeah. Sniff, like his name suggests, he sniffs out the general direction, finds the scent. And Scurry, he scurries ahead. Races.
They bump into walls, I imagine, make mistakes.
Oh, sure. But they just keep moving. They don't overanalyze it.
And then you have Ha and Haw, the little people. Different approach.
Totally different. They've got more complex brains, right? Filled with beliefs, assumptions, emotions, all that stuff. They're looking for cheese with a capital C, something that really signifies success and happiness to them. Their approach involves more thinking, more analysis.
But sometimes that gets them stuck.
That's the catch. Those very beliefs and emotions can sometimes get them totally stuck. Paralyzed, almost.
Okay, so the story kicks off, and all 4 characters actually hit the jackpot.
Right. After navigating the maze for a bit, they all discover this massive, abundant pile of cheese at a place they call Cheese Station C.
It's exactly what they were looking for. Success.
Exactly. And this is where their approaches to life after finding success really start to diverge. It's quite telling.
How so? What does Sniff and Scurry do?
Well, the mice, they basically stick to their routine. Every single morning, they wake up early, they run the maze route, same as always, and they check out Cheese Station C.
They inspect it.
Yeah, they notice the size of the pile, they sniff around, and crucially, they keep their running shoes handy, tied together around their necks, ready to go at a moment's notice.
Always prepared.
Always prepared, they just nibble away at the cheese, but they stay vigilant, they don't take it for granted.
Okay, so that's the mice. Meanwhile, Hem and Haw, the little people.
Oh, hem and haw, they get comfortable, like really, really comfortable.
Slippers on, feet up, kind of comfortable.
Pretty much. They start sleeping in later. They take their time getting dressed. They just casually stroll over to Cheese Station C. They actually hang up their jogging suits, slip on their slippers. They feel happy. They feel successful. And this is the key bit. They feel secure. They think this situation, it's permanent.
Ah, the danger zone.
Totally. They start to feel this sense of ownership, that this cheese at Station C is their cheese. They even move their homes closer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Build their whole social lives around it. They decorate the walls of the station with little sayings like, having cheese makes you happy.
Oh, boy.
They feel they earned this cheese, they deserve it. And this confidence, it starts to tip over into, well, arrogance.
You stop paying attention.
Exactly. They get so wrapped up in enjoying the cheese, feeling entitled to it, that they stop paying attention to the small changes happening right in front of them. They don't notice the supply maybe dwindling a bit each day.
Which, of course, sets the stage for the crisis. The inevitable happens.
It does. One morning, Sniff and Scurry arrive bright and early at Cheese Station C, and the cheese is gone.
Just gone. Vanish.
Vanished completely.
Okay, so here's the moment of truth. How do they react? The mice first.
Sniff and Scurry. Well, they aren't really surprised. The book mentions they'd actually noticed the pile getting smaller for a while.
Ah, the vigilance paid off.
It did. They were prepared. Remember those running shoes around their necks?
Yeah.
They immediately take them off, lace them up, and they're ready to go. No hesitation.
They don't waste time asking why or blaming anyone.
Nope. Their situation changed. Instincts kick in. Problem. No cheese here. Solution. Go find new cheese somewhere else in the maze. Simple as that.
So Sniff smells the air.
Scurry takes off running, and they head straight back out into the maze. Immediately. No overthinking, no emotional baggage holding them back. Just action.
Okay, now contrast that with Hem and Haw when they show up later.
Oh, it's night and day. Later that same day, Hem and Haw stroll in, expecting their usual feast. They hadn't been paying any attention, remember?
But, totally oblivious.
So imagine their shock. Pure disbelief. Hem and Haw just starts yelling, "What? No cheese! Who moved my cheese?" His face goes bright red. He's screaming, "It's not fair!"
Haw? What's his reaction?
Haw's just frozen in disbelief. He was so comfortable, he'd tuned everything out, didn't want to see it coming. So they're both completely unprepared, shocked, angry.
Ranting and raving about the injustice of it all.
Exactly. Hal realizes his whole future, everything he'd planned, was based on this cheese that is now simply gone.
That's a tough realization.
It is. And instead of adapting, they initially try these, unproductive things. They start banging on the walls of Cheese Station C, even chipping away at them, thinking maybe the cheese is hidden inside the wall or something.
That's not going to work.
Right. It's activity, sure, but it's completely unproductive. They're just doing the same thing, staying in the same place, expecting a different result. Classic stuck behavior.
And meanwhile, they're getting hungry, right? Stressed.
Definitely. They go home hungry, distressed. The situation just gets worse. They're losing energy, struggling to sleep. They're caught in this cycle of denial and anger.
Hem especially.
Yeah. Hem is particularly stubborn. He's convinced they're entitled to that specific cheese because, hey, they didn't cause the problem, right? It's someone else's fault.
The blame game.
Exactly. And Haw starts feeling the physical effects, the hunger, the fear creeping in. He actually scrawls something on the wall there, his first piece of handwriting on the wall.
Was he right?
He writes, "The more important your cheese is to you, the more you want to hold on to it."
Oof. Yeah, that hits home. It's not just the thing itself, it's our attachment.
Precisely, our fear of letting go. And around this time, Haw starts looking around, maybe noticing the silence, and asks Hem, "Hey, where are Sniff and Scurry? Do you think maybe they know something we don't?"
Good question. What does Hem say?
Hem just dismisses the mice, calls them simple creatures, says, we're little people, we have complex brains, we should be able to figure this out without running around that dangerous maze like mindless animals.
Still stuck in analysis paralysis.
Completely, but the situation keeps getting worse, they're getting weaker, and then a really pivotal moment happens for Haw.
What's that?
He starts to actually laugh at himself.
Really? Why?
He has this realization, he thinks, Haw, laughing at his name, "Look at me. Look at us. We keep doing the exact same things every day, coming here, getting angry, complaining, and expecting things to magically get better. This is ridiculous."
That's a breakthrough, isn't it? That self-awareness.
Huge breakthrough. That moment of being able to laugh at his own folly, his own fear, is what starts to break him free.
So he makes a decision.
He does. Despite Hem pleading with him to stay, saying things will get better, despite Haw's own very real fear of the unknown maze, he decides he has to leave Cheese Station C. He can't stay there anymore.
Does he leave a note for Hem?
He does. He writes another message on the wall. This one's pretty blunt. "If you do not change, you can become extinct."
Wow. Strong words.
Yeah. And then with a lot of trepidation, a lot of fear, he steps back out into the maze.
That must have been scary.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he asks himself this question, which the book highlights as incredibly powerful when you're facing fear.
What's the question?
He asks himself, what would you do if you weren't afraid?
That's a good one. Shifts the focus.
Exactly. It helps him imagine possibilities beyond the fear.
So how does his journey go at first? Is it easy?
Oh, definitely not. Not at first. He's weak from hunger, remember? So it's physically painful, it's frustrating, progress feels really slow, like 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Finds tiny bits of cheese, maybe.
Yeah, just small morsels here and there,
Wow.
nothing substantial. And the maze itself feels confusing, dark, Maybe even more dangerous than he remembered because he's out of practice.
But he keeps going.
He keeps going. And as he moves, something starts to shift. He starts to gain strength, not just physically from the little bits of cheese, but mentally, he starts to learn.
And he writes these learnings down.
Yes, that's the handwriting on the wall. He writes these realizations on the walls of the maze as he goes, almost like leaving breadcrumbs for himself, or maybe for him.
What's one of the first things he figures out?
One of the first is smell the cheese often so you know when it is getting old.
Back to that vigilance thing, like the mice.
Exactly. He realizes, man, I could have seen this coming if I'd just been paying attention back at Station C, if I'd noticed the supply dwindling.
Hindsight.
Right. And then, simply by the act of moving, even uncertainly, he discovers something powerful. He writes, movement in a new direction helps you find new cheese.
Seems obvious, but when you're frozen by fear...
It's not obvious at all. It's the action of moving, however small, that starts to break the paralysis of fear.
And that relates to the fear itself.
Yes, because he then writes, when you move beyond your fear, you feel free. He starts to realize that most of his fears were actually making the situation worse. They were bigger in his mind than the reality of the maze often was. Letting go of the fear was liberating.
That's a big one. What else does he learn?
He learns about the power of mindset, of visualizing success. He writes, imagining myself enjoying new cheese even before I find it leads me to it.
So picturing the positive outcome helps him keep going.
Exactly. It gives him motivation, makes the potential reward feel more real and achievable, even during the struggle.
Any moments of regret on the journey?
Oh, yeah. At one point, he stumbles upon another cheese station, but it's completely empty. He realizes it probably had cheese recently, but he missed it. That leads him to write, the quicker you let go of old cheese, the sooner you find new cheese.
Ouch. If only I had moved sooner.
Right. That feeling. He realizes he wasted precious time clinging to the hope of Station C coming back.
So moving, even into the unknown, is better than staying put.
That's another realization. He writes, it is safer to search in the maze than remain in a cheeseless situation. Being active, taking some risks, is actually less risky than slowly starting in a place with no hope.
And what about his old way of thinking?
He tackles that head on. He writes, old beliefs do not lead you to new cheese. He sees how his old assumptions about permanence, his fears, his worries, they were clouding his judgment, blocking his path. Change, he starts to understand, is just natural. It happens.
And when your beliefs change?
Your behavior changes. That leads to the next insight. When you see that you can find and enjoy new cheese, you change course. New beliefs empower new actions. Seeing that finding some new cheese is possible encourages him to keep searching.
Does he ever think about him? Try to go back?
He does, actually. At one point, finding a few decent pieces of new cheese, he feels stronger and decides to find his way back towards Cheese Station C to check on him.
How does that go?
He finds him still there, still miserable, maybe even weaker. Haw offers him bits of the new cheese he's found, trying to encourage him, saying, look, there is cheese out there. Come with me.
And him's reaction?
Him refuses. He pushes the new cheese away. He says, I don't want new cheese. I want my cheese back, the cheese I'm used to.
Yeah.
He's still stuck, unwilling to change until things go back to exactly the way they were.
That's heartbreaking. For Haw, too.
It is. The book says Haw felt sad but realized he couldn't make Hem change. Hem had to find his own way. So reluctantly, Haw has to leave him again and go back out into the maze alone.
That must have taken courage.
Definitely. But Haw keeps moving. And now he's not just reacting, he's starting to anticipate. He's looking ahead. He realizes noticing small changes early helps you adapt to the bigger changes that are to come. Stay aware, stay alert.
Prevent future surprises, basically.
Exactly. Be more like the mice in that regard. And finally, all this searching, all this learning, it leads him somewhere.
He finds it, the big one.
He does. His journey leads him to a brand new place in the maze. Cheese Station Inn.
And for new.
Probably. And what a find it is. There's this huge, abundant supply of new cheese. More than he could have imagined back at Station C. Even new varieties he'd never seen or tasted before.
Wow. And is he alone there?
Nope. Who does he find already there, looking fat and happy, totally settled in?
Sniff and scurry.
Sniff and scurry. They've clearly been enjoying this new cheese for quite some time. They just followed their instincts, moved quickly, and found it.
So Haw joins them.
He does. He walks in, maybe a bit hesitant at first, then takes a big bite of some delicious new cheese. And in that moment, feeling full, relieved, successful, he lifts a piece of cheese in the air like a toast.
And says,
Hooray for change!
from who moved my cheese to hooray for change. That's quite a transformation.
Isn't it? And as he settles in there at Cheese Station N, enjoying the bounty, Ha reflects on his whole journey, everything he learned in the maze.
What does he conclude?
He realizes that clinging to the idea of the old cheese back at Station C cheese that wasn't even there anymore, that's what truly kept him trapped and suffering for so long.
It was the attachment, the inability to let go.
Precisely. And that turning point, when he started to break free, he realizes it wasn't just the fear of starving, though that certainly helped motivate him.
What was it then?
It was that moment he could laugh at himself, laugh at his own fear and inaction. The book really emphasizes this. Sometimes being able to laugh at your own foolishness is the fastest way to let go of the past and move on.
Interesting point. Lightens the load somehow.
Exactly. He also saw the wisdom in the mice's simple approach. You know, stay vigilant, be flexible, move quickly. Don't overcomplicate things with fearful beliefs and endless analysis.
But he's not just a mouse.
Right. He learned how to combine that simplicity with his own unique human ability to reflect, learn from experience, and plan for the future. He realized you have to adapt fast. Otherwise, adapting slowly might be as bad as not adapting at all.
And the biggest lesson?
He admits to himself the toughest truth, maybe. The biggest obstacles to change are almost always internal, inside ourselves. Nothing outside really changes for the better until you change your internal state, your beliefs, your attitude, your actions.
So it starts within.
It really does. And maybe the most hopeful lesson he takes away is this. There's always new cheese out there somewhere. Always.
You just have to find it.
You find it by facing your fears and being willing to step out into the maze, seeing it not just as this scary, dangerous place, but maybe also as an adventure. He realized most of his fears were self-created anyway, and they held him back far more than any actual wall or dead end in the maze.
So the change, even though he didn't like it at first,
Looking back, he saw it was actually a blessing in disguise. It forced him out of his comfort zone, led him to better cheese, and maybe more importantly, it led him to discover a better, stronger, more capable part of himself.
that's powerful.
Yeah, and Ha wants to kind of consolidate all these lessons, make them stick, so he finds a big wall at Cheese Station N and writes a summary of everything he learned. He calls it the handwriting on the wall.
Okay, so what are the key points, the takeaways?
It's a list of principles for navigating change. Things like, first, change happens. They keep moving the cheese. Just accept it as a given.
Okay.
Second, anticipate change. Get ready for the cheese to move. Don't be caught completely surprised.
Be vigilant.
Right. Third, monitor change. Smell the cheese often so you know when it is getting old. Pay attention to those small signs.
Don't ignore the little clues.
Fourth, adapt to change quickly. The quicker you let go of old cheese, the sooner you can enjoy new cheese. Speed matters. Don't delay.
Let go faster.
Fifth, change. Move with the cheese. Action is absolutely essential. You can't just think about it.
Gotta move.
Sixth, enjoy change. Savor the adventure and enjoy the taste of new cheese. Try to find the upside, the opportunity in it.
Find the joy.
And finally, be ready to change quickly and enjoy it again because guess what?
They keep moving the cheese. It's cyclical.
Exactly. It's a continuous process.
That's a pretty neat summary of his journey.
It is. And Ha, having learned his lesson about getting too comfortable, makes this promise to himself. He's going to inspect Cheese Station N daily, just like the mice did, and he's going to keep exploring new parts of the maze regularly, just to stay aware and avoid being caught completely off guard again.
Smart. Learning from experience.
Totally. And the story itself, the parable part, ends right there. Ha's at Station N, enjoying the new cheese, staying vigilant, but then he hears a sound.
His sound.
Yeah, a sound out in the maze. Sounds like movement, getting louder, and he pauses, listening, and wonders, could it be Hem? Is Hem finally coming?
Ah, leaves you hanging a bit.
It does. Leaves it open.
Okay, so that's the core story, the parable. But the book doesn't stop there, right? It includes this section about applying it.
That's right. It continues with a discussion among a group of former classmates who've all heard the story. They get together and talk about how it resonated with them, how they saw themselves, and how they've actually applied these ideas in their work and lives.
And this is where, for you listening, the rubber really meets the road. How does this simple story translate to real life?
Absolutely. One of the first things that comes up in this discussion is the story's power simply as a shared language. This guy, Michael, talks about how in his company, after they shared the story, people started saying things like, okay, looks like they moved our cheese again.
And everyone instantly got it.
Instantly. They understood the frustration, but also the implied need to adapt, to figure out where the new cheese might be. It created this common vocabulary for talking about difficult, often uncomfortable transitions without getting bogged down in blame or denial.
That's useful.
Yeah.
And a lot of the discussion seems to be about identifying with the characters, right?
Yeah.
Figuring out which one am I.
Definitely. People start recognizing themselves and others. Carlos admits he was a total hem initially, after losing his job, just angry and resistant. Frank talks about a friend who was pure hem, stuck in denial until his whole department was shut down. Nathan sees his own family business acting like hem, ignoring the signs of change as huge mega stores moved in, and they really paid the price for not adapting sooner.
And Jessica talks about her old encyclopedia company.
Right, a perfect example of clinging to old cheese, the printed books, and being totally unwilling to move with the digital shift, the new cheese. They became obsolete.
It really hits home that fear of change is pretty universal, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. There's this moment where someone asks the group, "Who here isn't afraid of change?" And apparently everyone just laughs. It shows how easily we recognize the fear in others, but often we're kind of in denial about our own fears.
Yeah, easy to point fingers.
Exactly. And Nathan makes this great point. Change happens to all of us. It's not a question of if your cheese will be moved, but when. It's inevitable, constant. They keep moving the cheese.
And the cheese itself, it's not always just a job or money, is it?
Not at all. That comes out really clearly in the discussion. For Nathan, the cheese was his family's traditional business model. For Jessica, it was the print encyclopedia format. But it can also be a relationship that's no longer working, like Elaine and Corey discuss. Or, as Angela points out, sometimes the old cheese we need to let go of is our own behavior that's just not effective anymore.
Right. Richard adds to that, saying something like, repeating the same behavior will just get you the same results. If you feel stuck, maybe look at your actions first, not just the external situation.
That's a really key insight. And they talk about the difference between proactive change and reactive change. Nathan wishes his family had been more like Ha, or even Sniff and Scurry, proactively moving their own cheese by adapting their business model before the crisis hit, instead of waiting till they were basically starving and desperate.
Being ahead of the curve versus playing catch up.
Right. And Michael brings up another really interesting dynamic. A change imposed is a change opposed. People naturally resist change when it feels forced upon them, especially if they feel powerless in the situation.
Makes sense. Nobody likes being told what to do.
But he found the story actually helped bypass some of that resistance in his company. Why? Because, as he put it, no one wanted to look like him.
Huh. Social pressure flipped.
Exactly. The peer pressure shifted from it's smart to resist change and find flaws to it's better to be adaptable like Ha, not stuck like him.
That's clever. What else helps people move past the resistance?
The discussion really emphasizes the importance of painting a clear, positive, but also realistic picture of the new cheese. Michael realized his job as a leader wasn't just to announce the change, but to help his employees visualize the opportunities and benefits on the other side. What could this new situation look like?
Give them something to move towards, not just away from.
Precisely. Like Angela saw in the story itself, Ha visualizing enjoying the new cheese helps lessen his fear and even find some motivation and joy in the journey itself, not just the destination.
And it reinforces that idea that even scary change can lead to a better place, right?
Yeah, Becky shares a story about her son who absolutely hated moving for his dad's job, total hem about it. But the move ended up leading him to discover his passion and build a much happier life in the new location. The new cheese was unexpectedly better.
You just don't know until you get there sometimes.
Exactly. And interestingly, the story wasn't just helpful for people navigating change during the process. Michael mentioned it even helped employees who were laid off.
How so?
When they went for job interviews, they could use the story's language to talk about how they navigate change, how they learned from the past situation, and how they were actively looking for new cheese. It helped them frame their experience more positively, which made them feel better, and probably interview more effectively, too.
That's a great side benefit.
Yeah, and it extends beyond work, too. People talked about sharing the story with family, friends, partners as a way to help them cope better when their own cheese inevitably gets moved. Michael even used the concept to build new business partnerships, framing collaboration as, hey, maybe we could find some new cheese together.
Using it as a tool for connection and problem solving.
Right. But there's also an important caution raised by Frank, I think.
What's that?
He points out that while we need to be adaptable and ready for the cheese to move, some things shouldn't be treated like cheese. Our core values, our fundamental principles, those aren't things you just discard when the situation changes.
Good point. Need to know what's cheese and what's bedrock.
Exactly. Discernment is key.
Okay, so if we pull all of this together now, Ha's journey through the maze, the insights from the classmates' discussion, what are the really big takeaways, the core messages from this simple story?
Well, first and foremost, I think, is the simple acceptance. Change is constant. It's inevitable. They keep moving the cheese, period. Expect it.
It's just part of life.
It is. And second, your reaction to that change is absolutely critical. It's pretty much everything.
You've got options.
You do. You can be like sniff and scurry, vigilant, instinctive, quick to act. You can be like hem, stuck in denial, fear, anger, entitlement, waiting for the old days.
Yeah.
Or you can be like ha, maybe resistant at first, maybe scared, but ultimately able to learn, to laugh at yourself, to adapt, and to find a better path forward by taking action.
And the biggest hurdles aren't usually out there in the maze.
Not usually, no. The story strongly suggests the biggest barriers are internal. They're inside us. Our fear, our limiting beliefs, our stubborn refusal to let go of what was, our tendency to overcomplicate things and get paralyzed by analysis.
But the good news is we can change that.
That's the hopeful message, yes.
Ah.
You can change how you react by consciously trying to monitor the signs, anticipate shifts, act more quickly, practice letting go of the past, and maybe visualizing a positive future. You can navigate change much more effectively. You can learn to be more like Ha.
And finally, the idea that change isn't just something to endure.
Right. It's not just something to survive. The story frames it as potentially an adventure. It can lead to discovering new cheese that's actually better, more satisfying than the old. And maybe just as importantly, it can lead to discovering strength, resilience, and capability within yourself that you didn't even know you had.
Finding a better version of yourself through the challenge.
Exactly.
So yeah, this very simple story offers a surprisingly powerful, practical framework for looking at change in our own lives, doesn't it?
It really does.
When your cheese gets moved, and think about what that cheese is for you right now. How do you tend to react? What's your default mode?
Yeah, are you sniffing and scurrying, always kind of ready, prepared to move on quickly?
Yeah.
Or are you maybe hemming and hawing, feeling stuck, hoping it comes back, maybe blaming someone else?
Or are you learning? Learning to laugh at yourself a bit, face the maze, even with the fear, and start actively looking for something new, taking those first steps like Ha did.
The story really reminds us that the biggest hurdle is often, right between our own ears. It's internal.
But it also leaves us with that sense of hope, that sense of possibility, that by changing our mindset, changing our actions, we can not only navigate change, but potentially find something really great on the other side.
And remember how the story closes? Ha's there, enjoying the new cheese, but he hears that movement, wondering if Hem is finally coming.
Yeah, it leaves you with a question, doesn't it? About him, but maybe also about ourselves. So here's maybe a thought for you to mull over after this deep dive. What is the old cheese you might be clinging to right now? Maybe out of fear, maybe just out of comfort or habit. And what exciting new cheese might be waiting for you just beyond your own personal maze if you were willing to take that first step?